Hello everyone, welcome to KK4Z. My name is Scott and I am at Black Rock Mountain State Park at probably the smallest campsite I've ever been in. I mean, my little micro camper is only 13 foot and it just barely fits in. I had to park my truck over in the picnic area. Thank goodness I don't use it. But it is what it is, and I'm getting ready to go QRV. I thought I'd shoot some video. I'm still not completely set up, but I figure I would start a video of the outside anyhow. The antenna today is going to be my Chameleon micro transformer, the hybrid, and I'm only going to run about a 12-foot antenna, and the reason being is because I've got power lines overhead, which is somewhat typical. I did test it, and this will not interfere with the power lines if it topples over. It is below the power line, so anyhow, it should be interesting, and I'll get back to you a little later. All right, hello everyone again. This is Scott, KK4Z, and this is the inside. Today I'm running the Kenwood TS590SG, running FT8 band conditions. Look at this. This is 20 meters, and it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Had a couple issues getting started up. My computer did not want to talk to the radio real well, but after a restart, I got it finally figured out and working well. We'll see how today goes. It's pretty sketchy. But I'll talk back to you later. This is Scott, KK4Z. Alrighty, I've been at this for almost an hour. Made a whopping 2 contacts. But this is 20 meters on a Friday afternoon. Unbelievable. Look at that. Maybe 3, maybe 4 signals, not much more. And you can see how many times I'm calling CQ POTA. That's very rare that I call more than 5 times without getting a response. The band is just flat. And I'm just gonna have to wait till we turn away from the sun, I guess, before things pick up. The 590SG is doing its job. It's doing a good job, hanging in there. I had to do battle with my computers. What I found out, I had some sound issues, and it was my computer. And then when I got the sound issues taken care of, I have a GPS dongle, and I use BK Time to set the time on my computer. And for some reason, my computer did not accept. Oh, look at that, a contact. And I was not getting any decoding in the windows, and so I had to muck with it. Finally figured out that it was a timing issue, and then once I got the BK Time working properly, everything fell into place. So everything's running like it's supposed to now, and my ALC is good, my power is good, everything is good. And oh look, man, life is good. So anyhow, hopefully in the next hour or two, maybe the bands will pick up a little bit once, like I said, as we start turning away from the sun. Maybe things will get better, but boy, it's sketchy. I was hoping to complete a kilo this weekend. I need 331 contacts to complete a kilo, but I might just have to take one more trip. All right, well, I'll talk back later. This is Scott, KK4Z. All righty, it's about 6 o'clock. Bands have picked up a little bit. I think I am still under 30 contacts, which is way lower than what I usually get when the band conditions are good. But we're moving along. Slow and steady wins the pace, wins the race. One thing I noticed is that the band appears to be going very long. And that's unusual. All right, yeah, I've got 29 contacts. But the band is going long. Most of the places are Europe, Spain, the Balearic Islands, in the United States, Minnesota, Arizona, South Dakota, Oregon, one in South Carolina, all kind of long, especially for this time of day. I'm currently on 17 meters. All the other bands were dead. I'm hoping as we turn further away from the sun that 20 meters will open up and I'll be able to get some traction on these contacts. So while I'm waiting for that to happen, I thought I would talk about the TS590 SG that I recently acquired in a trade. This turned out to be a pretty good deal. I did open it up. It already had the Mars mod, and it already had the TXCO, the temperature controlled oscillator, crystal oscillator in there. So that by itself is about $130 piece of equipment, so to speak. But one of the things I like about using bigger radios, and for those of you that have been around know that my preference is running big radios at low power. I'm running this at about 25 watts, and it should do this all day and all night. This is the inaugural run of the 590. The other thing I like about having big radios is all the controls are readily available. You don't have to go down to menus. Change modes, right there. Change power, right there. Change the keyer, right there. Or, do I have it set up? Oh, it's power now. Okay. I thought I had that for keyer too. I think it's in CW, I think it goes to keyer. But my memory channels right there. My noise blankers right there. Filters right there. RF and AF gain right there. The shifts right there. RIT and ZIT right there. AGC right there. Attenuator preamp right there. Everything is easy to get to. You don't have to push a button, twist a knob, push another button to get something to work. It's just right there, and I like that. I really like this radio so far. I'm not really missing the waterfall, but I like the radio itself. It's a sturdily built. It weighs a lot more than my other radios. I think this is like maybe 16 pounds, I think. But it's solid and it's a good performer. So I'm glad I added it to my stable. My only regret is that I didn't get one sooner. But it does do a good job. I got it set up with FT8 pretty easily. CW, I got everything set up pretty easy. I had some issues earlier today that I talked about, but those were computer issues and not radio issues. The radio was running right. It was my computer. It was Windows that was kind of acting up a little bit. But we got it figured out. Anyhow, I'm enjoying the radio. I'll talk more about it later. But it's just slow. Hopefully I don't know if I'll get finish my kilo this trip or not, but I'll put a dent in it. I'll have more for you later. This is Scott, 73s. Hello everyone, it's about 10:30 Eastern time. Starting to rain out a little bit, and action's been really slow. I managed to get 88 contacts, but it took me a long time to get there. And as you can see, the band still isn't in that good a shape. I'm having trouble keeping my eyes open, so I'm going to pull the plug till tomorrow morning. The 590 really does a good job. I'm really happy with it. Good morning, everybody. This is Scott, KK4Z. It's just about 6:30 in the morning, and I'm on 40 meters. The band has picked up, but not getting a whole lot of contacts. I've been up for probably somewhere around an hour and maybe made 20 contacts. That's really not a lot. Man, I can't believe how bad the band conditions are. It's really really interesting to say the least. Anyhow, still using the TS590. It's doing well. One of the things I like about the 590, now this radio does get warm, but not warm enough. It's not hot enough to have to take my hand off. But one of the things I like about it are the fans are mounted up front and they vent down. So if I want to check the temperature of the air coming out, I just put my hand underneath like this and I can feel the air coming off the radio blowing on my hand, so it gives me an indication of what type of heat's being held inside the radio. Right now, like I said, it's warm. Of course, anytime you run a high-duty cycle digital mode, it's going to get warm. I'm running about 20 watts. It's doing fine. I'm really liking this radio. I won't quite say it's love at first sight, but I do like it. So anyhow, just checking in. I still have my, what I call my nighttime lighting. I know you can't see it real well, but it's a blue light that keeps everything kind of dark, so my eyes are adjusted if I have to go outside. Anyhow, I'll check back in later. Hopefully things will pick up a little bit. I don't think I'm going to get my kilo this trip. Maybe have to do one more, but I do like Black Rock Mountain State Park. We'll talk to you later. Hello everyone, welcome back. Thought I would check in, but at this for about 24 hours. That includes the time I slept. Bands are slow. The 20 meters just went flat dead. Oh wow, it's crazy. I made somewhere in the neighborhood of about 220 contacts. To get my kilo for this park, I need 331, so I'm about 110 or so shy. Might make it. Don't know. I mean, the band, like I said, just as I started this video, 20 meters went dead flat. Nothing but static. Hang on a second, I'll give you an S number here in a minute. Oh yeah, 10 over S9 noise and no signals. I'm going to work tonight and then maybe a little bit tomorrow morning. I have to vacate my campsite by about noon, so I have to be cognizant of that. But, yeah, the band just went whoops. And anyhow, if not, I get to come back another day and finish it up. But I'm pretty close, so I'm pretty happy with it. The TS590 SG is doing a great job. I'm really getting attached to this radio. I kind of like it. You know, it's a not waterfall, not SDR, just a basic, solid performing radio. It does get warm. It's one of the warmer radios that I use when I use a digital mode, but it doesn't get so hot that I can't touch it. And the fans, I can hear the fans working. So I know the fans are working. It's doing this job. And it hasn't been complaining any. But I really kind of like the radio. Next time I'm going to maybe take out, do a little CW with it. But I've kind of grown attached to it. So anyhow, I'm just checking in, just letting you know I'm still out there. And if you guys are by your radios, give me a holler. I could use all the help I can get. We'll talk to you later. Well, hello everyone. This is Scott, KK4Z. And believe it or not, right in the middle of a contact, the power went out. And for this trip, and most of my camping trips, I didn't bring a battery. And so I am kind of down and out. I turned the lights off to save the battery in my camper. It's really not quite this dark here, but I wanted to be a little dramatic. But yeah, we'll just have to wait for the power to turn back on. So if I was working you and I just disappeared, this is why. I'll talk to you more later. Hello everyone, this is Scott, KK4Z, and I'm still here without power. I know you see lights on, but this little trailer runs off a 12-volt battery. It'll run the lights, and it'll run my little cooler, my refrigerator, and a couple other little things. So I at least have power, but I've been without power for about 3 hours now. It's 6 o'clock, and I have to make a decision. Should I stay or should I go, as the song goes. And the reason being is if I'm going to go, I want to be packed up and out of here down the mountain by dark, because it's a twisty, turny road, and the roads here in the campground are narrow, and so I want to be out while it's still light. So I have to make a decision probably within the next 15 to 30 minutes whether I'm going to stay or not. But it wasn't too bad. I made 233 contacts. I needed 321, but what that means is I get to come out here again and have another trip. So that part's okay. But yeah, I have 233. I think I had 40 states and like 5 countries. Band conditions were not good. Up, down, and at one point 20 meters just got wiped out. It was amazing. So anyhow, this may be my final video, or it may be not. We shall see. If not, you all take care. Thank you for viewing my channel, visiting my blog. I appreciate your patronage. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate, you all, taking the time to look at some of the things I do. And hopefully down the road, that'll help you. And then one last thing. I know I always talk about MCOM and FunCom and how I kind of practice both. And someone might say, well, why didn't you bring a battery this time? I said, well, normally when I do these trips, I don't bring a battery because power is always available. However, for practice last week when I did that 3-day 1,800-mile POTA trip, I exclusively used one of my batteries. I brought 2 batteries with me. I had a 100 amp hour LiFePO battery for my radios, and I had a Bioennopower BPP 160 power pack to charge up my laptop at the times when I had a long day, because most of these parks I was stopping at, power was not available. So I was using my batteries for that. So I do practice that. But however, in the last 3 or 4 years of me doing these camping trips, this is the first time I've ever lost power at a park. So it's unusual, but yes, I do practice MCOM with FunCom. However, the battery part was last week. Anyhow, you see how it goes. All right, you all take care. Like I said, this may be my last video. It may not. We'll talk to you later. Bye.